There is a specific, dangerous psychological switch that flips when an outsider is finally given a chance to have a seat at the Hollywood elite table, and it explains the most baffling parasocial betrayal in recent history. We are watching Colleen Hoover, a woman who built an empire on female empowerment and integrity, fail a definitive moral test. A lot of people that just see the headlines think this is just set drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, but the unsealed records and sworn testimony tells me it was something much darker. A calculated reputation trade. This was a masterclass in mean girl recruitment and the high price of social validation. Let's rewind the clock back to before the drama and red carpets. There was just a book and there was Justin Baldoni. You need to understand the level of risk he took. He bought the rights to It Ends With Us when Colleen was just another dime-a-dozen romance novelist. He didn't buy it because it was a cash cow. He bought it because he saw the soul of the story. He championed her book, and for 5 years, he didn't just act like a producer. He acted like a partner and friend. In Hollywood, holding the rights means you hold the power. Justin could have legally told her to kick rocks while he wrote the script the way he wanted and cast whoever he wanted, but he didn't. He wanted her input. He offered her a co-writing credit on the screenplay. He gave her an executive producer title. A title that, let's be honest, is usually just a vanity plate to make people feel important, but he treated it as real. He wanted her voice. He wanted her fans involved. This man spent a lot of money, time, and effort to try to make her book into a movie adaptation that they both could be proud of. So, the question that has been haunting me is simple. How do you repay that level of loyalty with total annihilation? How do you go from partners to strangers in the span of a single dinner? Because that is apparently what happened. But to understand the betrayal, we have to look at the pattern of behavior that no one wanted to see. There were cracks in the foundation long before the explosion. We have records indicating that while Colleen wanted the credit of a producer, but she refused the workload. She turned down the offer to write the script because she was too busy, which is fair. But then she complained about not seeing every single draft. She was invited to set, but she didn't go. Then she complained about being out of the loop. She demanded dailies, which is unheard of for an author with zero filmmaking experience. She even testified under oath that she expected them because she received them on her previous projects. The problem? There were no previous projects. This was her first film. The entitlement was already there, lurking beneath the surface. She wanted the trophy without running the race. But the real turning point, the moment the knife actually went into the back, can be pinpointed to a specific date, May 6th, 2024. Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath sit down with Colleen for dinner. They are transparent. They tell her the truth. There is tension on set with Blake Lively. There was a meeting, concerns were raised, and a document was signed. They didn't hide it. They didn't manipulate the narrative. They gave her the respect of hearing it from them first before the gossip mill started churning. They gave their point of view and context around the issues with Blake. And how did Colleen react? She left that dinner disappointed. Disappointed that Justin would speak negatively about a co-star, disappointed that he violated some unwritten code. Think about the hypocrisy of that moment. After 5 years of partnership, one dinner where a man vents about a difficult work environment is enough to erase everything? It seems impossible. Unless, of course, she was looking for an exit ramp. 9 days. That is how long it took. 9 days after that dinner, Colleen reaches out to Blake Lively, a woman she had met exactly once for a brief introduction. And just like that, the loyalty evaporated. What followed was a 3-month masterclass in mean girl recruitment. Between May and August, the dynamic shifted violently. Blake began feeding Colleen a steady diet of unverified gossip. Stories about Justin lying, stories about him using Colleen's name to win arguments, and about him being some sort of Bond villain. Did the author of the book, the woman whose job is to understand human character, pick up the phone? Did she call the man she had worked with for 5 years to ask, "Hey, is this true?" Did she verify a single claim? No. Under oath, she admitted it. She said, "I just took it as things she had experienced. I didn't know if they were accurate or not." She absorbed the gossip as gospel truth because it came from the mouth of a D-list movie star. Let's pause and look at the tattoo incident, because this is the smoking gun that proves this was never about protecting the book. In the book, Lily's heart tattoo is tied to her history with Atlas and represents survival and a part of herself that existed before Ryle. It is a central symbol of the novel, and it carries emotional weight that becomes more significant once Atlas re-enters her adult life. The tattoo's meaning deepens across both books in the series. It is basic storytelling. Blake Lively chose to change it anyway, and in doing so, she altered a symbol that was meant to connect Lily's past and present, reshaping the emotional arc without fully understanding why it mattered in the first place. Justin Baldoni, you know, the director, the man who actually respected the book, fought against this. He texted Colleen, frustrated that Blake was changing the story without reading the book. He was fighting for Colleen's work, and what did Colleen do? She admitted she was jarred by the change. She admitted it felt wrong. But instead of siding with the man defending her art, she cataloged his frustration as evidence against him. She twisted his defense of her work into an attack on Blake. That is the moment the mask fell off. In my opinion, it wasn't about the story anymore. It was about who she wanted to be seen with. By July 14, 2024, the betrayal was formalized in writing. Colleen Hoover sends an email to Sony executives, and it's revealing in ways she probably didn't intend. She writes, "I feel like a scapegoat, as though I'm being used as an excuse for anyone having to deliver unfavorable news." Read that carefully. She knows her name is being invoked to justify decisions. She knows she's being positioned, she just doesn't object to where the positioning is coming from. Because in that same email, she makes her alignment clear. She says she may not attend the premiere if Justin and his team are there. And she goes further. She explicitly says she understands why Blake wouldn't attend either. Not Justin, Blake. She places herself in Blake's shoes, validates Blake's grievance, and frames Justin's presence as the problem that needs to be solved. Then comes the tell. She says she doesn't want Sony's decision or Justin's attendance to be placed solely on her shoulders. In other words, she wants him gone, but she doesn't want the fingerprints. Power without responsibility and exclusion without authorship. From there, the behavior matches the choice. She ghosts Justin completely. She unfollows him on Instagram, and when asked why under oath, her answer is simple. Blake asked me to. A 3-month alliance with a celebrity outweighed 5 years of loyalty. One request from the Queen Bee and Colleen complied. She excludes him from Book Bonanza, the convention celebrating the very book he adapted. She refuses to take photos with him. She erases him from her life, and suddenly the VIP section opens up. Bradley Cooper watching edits. Letters from Matt and Lucy Damon. Taylor Swift sending messages mocking Justin. This was a world Colleen Hoover had never been invited into before, and the price of admission was Justin Baldoni's head on a platter. But the audacity reaches its peak when the backlash hit. Remember the marketing disaster? The florals? The tone-deaf grab your girlfriends campaign that ignored the domestic violence themes? By her own admission in her PGA letter, Blake positioned herself as having control over the film's promotion. Colleen participated. She made flower bouquets. She read the teleprompter. She went right along with the promotion. But when the internet turned, when the fans started asking why the movie about abuse was being marketed like a rom-com, Colleen felt alone. She felt abandoned. And she had the nerve to be upset that Justin Baldoni didn't rush to her defense. The man she unfollowed, the man she ghosted, the man she didn't want at his own movie premiere. In my opinion, Justin was stabbed in the back repeatedly, and then she had the nerve to complain that he didn't offer her a bandage for a paper cut. You don't burn the bridge down and then demand rescue when you land in the water. When the New York Times piece began to receive pushback, Colleen didn't apologize. She didn't correct the record. She quietly deleted photos of Blake from her Instagram. No explanation or accountability. To this day, she has never apologized to Justin. She has never acknowledged the harm caused by her silence or her alignment. She has never admitted that proximity to power came at a cost. Colleen Hoover built her career outside the system. She wasn't Hollywood. She wasn't one of them. Justin Baldoni offered her respect and collaboration before he had anything to gain from her. But Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds offered something different, the feeling of being included in a world that had always been close to her. And in my view, that mattered more than loyalty. She wrote a story about leaving a toxic dynamic, but when the pressure was real, she sided with fame and power. Well, that was my interpretation. How about you tell me yours in the comments? Also, always remember,
That's my opinion!